Hey, you guys, welcome back to the channel. And we're talking Ultimatum, the new Netflix series that's going on right now. We're going to do the recap of episode number 1 and number 2. If you haven't checked out the actual couples, I did a recent video on Meet the Couples. So you can kind of get an idea of who's who and their previous relationship situation. And you can watch actually all 8 episodes right now. They have been uploaded to Netflix. Episode 9, which is the finale, and episode 10, which is the reunion, will be posted on Netflix on Wednesday, April 13th. So we got a lot to unpack in these for even in these first 2 episodes. And guys, I don't know about you, but I am really into this series. I didn't know what to expect, but it's pretty darn interesting. As you guys know, this is a spinoff from Love is Blind. It is the same producers, platform, Netflix, and Kinetic Content. Kinetic Content also does Married at First Sight here in the US. So they produce that as well. So before we jump into this video and unpack all of the drama and how it all started, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. If you like the video, smash the like button and drop a comment down in the comment section below. So without further ado, let us talk about episode 1 and episode number 2. So, as I stated, the show aired this past Wednesday. It's hosted by Vanessa and Nick Lachey. And let me just kind of give you a setup of how this is all supposed to work with these couples. So, someone in each of the 6 participating couples issued an ultimatum to their partner. Now, they'll either get married or they'll break up at the end. Now, this whole experiment is to test if they're actually ready for marriage, either to their partner or to someone new. And what they do is, meaning the host, they split the couples up, they choose someone from the other couples, live together for a trial marriage for 3 weeks. And at the end of those 3 weeks, they move in with their original partner. So they get back with their original, who they were actually came into the show with, whom many didn't live with in the first place. And then at the end of the second trial, now the ultimatum has to be answered. So, yeah, this is going to be very, very interesting. I'm enjoying it already. I'm actually up to episode number 6. So, yeah, it is good. So, if you haven't checked it out or you're just starting it, keep watching. But in this video, we're going to do the recap of episode number 1 and 2. So, let's start with episode 1. The name of that episode was called The Split. So, Nick and Vanessa actually talked about how their relationship experienced something similar with an ultimatum. Um, they revealed that they had briefly broken up. They each dated one other person when their relationship, I guess, was kind of stuck. And then they finally came to some sort of realization that if they each got out of their own way, they could absolutely be amazing together. And here they are today, right? So just to kind of recap the couples, we got 6. It's Shanique and Randall, Ray and Zane, Jake and April, Madeline and Kobe, Alexis and Hunter, and Nate and Lauren. And yeah. So let's talk about the highlights of episode 1. So one of the biggest highlights of this particular episode was how Zay was questioning Ray's ultimatum. So Ray was the one who brought herself and Zay onto the show. And what she said she wanted is to leave the experience engaged to him. Now, their last dinner before the split featured Zay telling Ray it doesn't make sense that she issued the ultimatum, and not him saying, "It's crazy to me that she even gave me an ultimatum. And she can't tell me how she feels about me. I mean, this can't be reality." I honestly don't think that these two actually are good together. Just looking on screen, I don't know. And then the other biggest issue um with this particular relationship is the fact that they has this social media presence. And being that he has this social media presence, there's pictures of him in the nightlife. Some of the pictures he have no shirt on, and there's nowhere on his social media showing that he's in a relationship with Ray. So she's feeling some kind of way about that. And so that's one of the reasons why, you know, um, Ray brought him onto the show. And even Ray, when she's asked to explain why she even loves him and wants to marry him, she pretty much skipped the question. She didn't even answer or talk about it. And it's like, is it that she just didn't want to say, or you really don't know why you want to marry him? The other thing that was pretty interesting in episode one was Alexis calling Kobe out. Now, this whole thing was really crazy. So after, because at this point it's been a week and they're pretty much have been dating around, Alexis had come to the conclusion that Kobe was an ideal partner for her in the first, for the first trial marriage that they had to come up, that's coming up next. However, Kobe didn't, he didn't see it the same way. He did not give those same feelings back. And when she shared her feelings, he was definitely honest about his, saying that, you know what, I appreciate what you're telling me, but I don't really see a future with you. And his answer was clear, it was direct, it was concise, and yeah, I mean, it was pretty smooth. There was no overtones or anything like that. And it was a rejection, and she was not trying to hear it. So much so that it got to the point where she pretty much wanted to call him a bad guy, that he's not a good guy. And, people need to watch out for him, because she was walking around talking to one of the other couples about him and who he was. And I'm like, okay, he told you nicely you're not a good fit for him. I don't know why she thinks that, and sometimes that happens. People happen to think that, oh, I don't understand why they don't want me. Then he also said that I'm not attracted to you. She turns around and says, oh, it's not that hey, I'm not unattractive. He's not saying you're not attractive. He's saying that he's not attracted to you. So she kind of wanted to twist that as if he was saying that she was an unattractive person, and that wasn't at all what he said. But yeah, it gets pretty interesting as the episodes move on. So, it was a pretty interesting episode. Like I say, I'm highlighting some of the things that was um in each episode. And we're gonna talk about episode number two in a minute. So the episode two is called The Choice. So then there was a second part of this because Alexis isn't done. So after the first initial rejection, Alexis told Kobe that she didn't believe what he said, nor did she think he believed it. I mean, which of course prompting him to pretty much say, as I stated before, I'm not attracted to you. That was something she didn't want to hear. Kobe didn't say anything harsh, but the rejection in itself, it didn't sit well with her. And she instantly went up to, like I said, Kobe's original partner, who was Madeline, who was also on a date with Alexis' original partner, Hunter, saying that Madeline could do so much better than him. Yeah, so she's pissed that she got turned down. Everybody is not everybody's cup of tea, and I don't understand why she didn't get that, but she automatically assumed that, hey, I guess he should have wanted her. Sorry, it didn't work out there. So now it's time for the choice ceremony, and yeah, this ceremony it got pretty interesting to say the least. And it does extend over to episode 3, which we'll talk about in the next recap video. But after the dating section, or that week that they did the dating concluded, um, pretty much everyone had to announce their pick for the first trial marriage. And yeah, it was also done in front of their exes or their original partners. So Alexis flat out said in front of everyone that she doesn't think Kobe is a good person. I'm like, girl, let it go. Telling the group that the first thing he said to her was that she's unattractive. And no, that is not what he said. He said that he's not attracted to you. And of course, I'm thank goodness that the show actually showed the scenes that ain't what he said, so cut it out. And like I said before, there's a difference between not being attracted to someone and calling them ugly, but I guess somewhere in her mind, she internalized his words as being that she was unattracted or unattractive. Okay. But there was some surprises in this episode. So, and I was kind of shocked at that because I didn't know if they were going to wait for some of these proposals to happen at the end, that you couldn't make a decision and they make them go through the process. But I was very surprised with this. So, in the final part of this particular episode, they showed Alexis declaring that she can't imagine having to living with anyone but Hunter, and how much she's gonna fight for him. And she was the one that issued the ultimatum to him, who already was ready to get married before even coming on the show, but wasn't sure he wanted to marry her. So now what we see after her declaration, because remember she just got turned down by Kobe, it was time for Hunter, which is her current partner, to choose who he's going to do the trial wife part of this experiment with. And Hunter would, I mean, instantaneously, he got up. He said, "Guys, I want to marry Alexis," and they left us right there. And I'm like, okay, that's it. But I thought it was pretty interesting. I guess they tried to create a little bit of a cliffhanger. But he's not the only proposal that's gonna happen, and that proposal is gonna be real questionable, and if you guys know what I'm talking about, meet me in episode 3 and 4 when we do that recap. So far so good. I really enjoyed this. Do I think the couples, I already see potentials of maybe who will stay together. Could be wrong. I haven't got to episode 8, and 9 and 10 is not up yet. But I also see connections that shouldn't have been together in the first place. I honestly don't think that what is her name? Oh my god. Is it Randall? Randall and hold on, because I don't want to make a mistake. So April, Jake and April, I don't really think that they make a good match. I honestly think that Jake matches with who he's going to be partnered with. And we'll talk about that in the next episode. But Jake and April, I don't see as a match. I also don't see as a match the other couple, which is Ray and Jay. I don't know. I just don't see it there as well. So we'll have to continue to watch. We're going to continue to talk about it. This is not going to be a very, very long video, but I just wanted to go ahead and give the highlights of episode 1 and 2 because it really does get good. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you thought about the whole experiment, this early proposal that was given with Hunter and Alexis. Um, how this whole process is supposed to work. So yeah, I find it interesting, but let me know what you think. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.